This is an introduction to our 40 Days for Lasting Change program, where we are going to go through a journey. My friend, I've got to give her a name. We're going to start at the root chakra and we're going to work up through the sacral, the nabi, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, and into the aura to help you to find the best version of yourself, the version of yourself that you know is there, but you're not quite sure how to access it. We will give you all sorts of tools, all sorts of support in community to help you to find the things that you're missing at the moment in your life, which are there, you just don't know, you haven't figured out how to tap into them yet.
So 2 quick questions. Why 40 days? And why for lasting change?
It takes 40 days to break a habit. I'll say that again. It takes 40 days to break a habit. And once we've broken those habits, we can start to create new habits to replace the old habits that don't serve us, and that change can carry on for the rest of our lives.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I met Emma doing my Kundalini Yoga teacher training. And before that, I really had been trying to get, I suppose for me, the driver is work-life balance and balance generally in my life. And I've picked up a lot of tools along my journey when I've been trying to find balance and I suppose purpose as well for me. And I was already practicing Kundalini Yoga. I've been practicing it since I was pregnant with my son. And I went into a Kundalini Yoga session. I'm always smiling and laughing about this because I went in and I actually went in and said, oh, I think I'm in the wrong room, and turned round and went out. Even though there were loads of other pregnant women, I saw someone sitting there with a turban on and actually looking quite serious and quite scary, and thought I was in completely the wrong room. But from that first session, I was just transformed by it and found it so uplifting. And in terms of our program, it really helps you to find balance, look inside and really find and be comfortable with who you are. And I also trained, before I trained as a Kundalini Yoga teacher, I trained as an EFT and matrix reimprinting healer. And I've been practicing that technique. Actually, I seem to be having these funny experiences where someone else sort of snuck that upon me and all but cured a phobia of mine. And one of my friends who is actually a practitioner, she's quite big in the world of matrix reimprinting now and has written a few books. She sort of sneaked it up on me when we were having a conversation one day. But that was such a powerful, transformative tool that I went on to study how to use that and help others, and we'll be using that in the course as well. And I'm a mum, and I'm also a lawyer of over 20 years, and I'm now working out how to find the balance of being a lawyer still and also offering these healing techniques. So at the moment I'm managing to do both of them.
I'm John. What can I say about myself? I've had an interest in spiritual issues for some time, but I had a very difficult and troubled relationship with just living life on life's terms. I think earlier this year, I discovered really as a real benefit from lockdown. First of all, it was the idea of being stuck in a room on my own with myself was like my worst nightmare. And through Zoom and through various meetup groups, I was able to connect with Jenny and enjoy her EFT sessions, and enjoy also Emma helped me with the daily meditation practice and gave me my initial Kundalini Yoga training. And for the first time consistently, I'm able to find the energy I need for every day, live life on life's terms, and actually not go into crazy cycles of self-destructive behavior, but actually have something which gives me all the benefits and none of the harms of other forms of ways of dealing with my difficulties. This has been so positive, and I'm so excited that we're able to bring this and share this. This has worked for me so well, and I just want other people to be able to try it. The practice of 40 days daily meditation to change a habit just worked. It absolutely worked. I'm going to be honest, the first time I tried to do it, I didn't succeed. The second time I tried to do it, I didn't succeed. The third time I tried to do it and got to 40 days, I noticed that so much self-destructive habits had dropped away. People around me just can't believe the difference that's happening right now for me. And the thing that really made the difference in that was having groups of people that supported me, people to reach out to on WhatsApp, teachers that I could access, and people who took an interest in me. I wasn't trying to do it alone anymore. And in a bizarre way, lockdown became the most connected time of my life.
Okay, so I'm Emma, and I have been on a little bit of a journey. I suffered from quite a lot of depression, and I got given antidepressants, which I've never liked. And when I started working with Tantra, the energies of Tantra, and particularly Kundalini Yoga, that depression shifted. Now, I'm not saying I don't have days where I wake up and things are a little bit tough, but I have so many tools now to get myself out of those places. I don't sink into that depression. And one of the most powerful things for me has been working in community and finding like-spirited people, I like to call them, rather than like-minded. And just being around people who get me, because there's a lot of not being got at the moment, and there are a lot of changes going on in the universe. 2020 has been a very powerful year energetically, and here we are at the forefront of it. So yeah, I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher, I'm a Reiki healer, I'm a holistic massage therapist, and I know that other people are struggling, and I want to use my own experiences to help and support other people to bring themselves into the version of themselves that they really want to be in this life.
Amanda is here as our keynote questioner.
My name's Amanda, and I am a massage therapist, a Reiki master. I do reflexology, etc., etc., a lot of different complementary therapies. And my story in brief, that I was working in the city for several years, and then was working towards being made redundant and went to travel the world. And as I came back from traveling the world, I discovered my father had lung cancer, and it destabilized me enough to make me quite unwell and give me gut health problems, which has led me onto a great path and journey of understanding of myself. And I've done a lot of different courses, one of which is Penningham in Scotland, where I now help and volunteer at and work at. And so my path now is to try and help people to come to an understanding of where they are at and what emotions they are actually sitting with in this present moment, because often we all try to escape what we are feeling. And on that journey, I'm very much still very on that path of learning, of understanding, of sitting with where I am at this moment, rather than running to escape, to avoid, to do any kind of self-destructive behavior that would not enable me to just sit and listen. So that's my journey.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be using a number of different techniques, so introducing you to the things that we use on a daily basis. I mean, we might not actually practice all of these tools or use every single one, that Emma already alluded to, every single day, but I like to think of it as a one of the big Nanny McPhee, or somebody who's got a huge big Mary Poppins, someone's got a huge big bag and they can just rummage around inside and bring out the thing that actually most works for you on a particular day of the week, and to fix issues that you might be having. And Emma's already said we'll be working up through the chakra system, and we'll be introducing you to yoga techniques to EFT and matrix reimprinting, although it will be mainly EFT, but we'll use some of the other elements. But I'll be teaching you actually how to use EFT and how to use it in your day-to-day life. We'll be using meditations and some lovely ones that have been recorded, a beautiful smiling meditation from Emma, which is really fantastic to get you out of any sort of funk or to put you in the right creative mindset. As we say, daily meditation, and we've got, I say a favourite one, maybe that's not right, Emma, are you smiling when I say that? We've got one which is a really brilliant one. I mean, but we're going to use this every single day, and maybe Emma can explain why this one, although I've got my own thoughts on it. And we're going to use visualization as well, and actually quite a lot of physical practice. And one thing I've missed out, which Emma will tell me off if I miss it out, is nidra and relaxation, a really important part of what we're doing. 40 days we acknowledge is intense, is quite a long time to be practicing and to be in community like this. And but we're cognizant of that, and we acknowledge that, and there'll be plenty of time to rest, relax, and just incorporate all the techniques and let your body heal. I could go on, Emma, so do you want to chip in now? Because I could just talk about how we're going to do it as well.
Yeah, I will chip in now to talk a little bit more about the 40 days. So the thing that we're going to be asking you to do for 40 consecutive days is this 15-minute meditation. It is the meditation of habit changing. It's called Kirtan Kriya, and it's a Kundalini yoga meditation. Obviously, we'll be explaining it when people join the course. That is the only thing that you absolutely have to do for 40 days. That's going to be supported by 2 live sessions every week with either me or Jenny, and that will involve breakout groups and more intimate sharing. So you're always in support. There'll also be recorded elements that you can do at your own time. And if you can't make it to the live sessions, all of that will be recorded so you can come back to that at the time that's convenient to you. The idea is that we're working in groups of up to 8 people, never more than 8 people, because once we get more than 8 people, we start to get lost energetically, and we really want people, especially people who have the quieter voices, who don't always feel heard. There's always that person who's first with their hand up, often me, and there are people who find it a bit more difficult to speak, and we're very, very keen that those people feel safe and held within a smaller community. So that's a big part of it. And like Jen said, relaxation is really important. It's relaxation that really allows energy to go through us. We have decades of stuff that's stuck inside us. We humans, we hold on to lots and lots of our pain. And the idea through relaxation is to make space, to release all the stuff that's not serving us in, and to welcome in new energy.
And I know how you love the chakra system, as I do. And the reason that we chose to incorporate the chakras into our program is that it gives a very, I'll say logical, but it gives a really nice framework for us to work through when we're looking for negative patterns and negative ways of being, and looking to move on from that. So it's really useful because we start off with trust and security, and working out how we can feel secure, and how we can do that within community, working all the way through energetically through love, and we can mention more of this, right through to how we're actually projecting ourselves out into the world. I love it as a framework, and we've spoken in our other videos before about achieving this. I'm always thinking of it as a wheel, and achieving this energetic flow. If we've got any specific blocks in any particular chakra, then the energy can't flow, and we want to help people to get rid of any blocks, get rid of any negative patterns of being, and we've got tools to help you do that.
It was the building. It's exactly that. The building, we build up on the chakras, but we also build on community, and that sharing, those smaller groups. I'm sure lots of you will have been to workshops, and you meet people for a weekend, and it's great, and it's really intense, and you have this really intimate sharing, and you all exchange numbers and contact details, and then poof, everybody disappears back into their lives. The wonderful thing about this 40 days is that we have the consistency. We keep coming back. So 40 days is coming on for 6 weeks. By the end of those 6 weeks, you may well find that you've made friends for life. People who will go on, because it doesn't end after nothing, you know, this whole process, this life business is an ever expanding thing if you want it to be. We can just keep going and going. And once you've got people who've been on that journey with you, you can carry on having those connections, you can carry on having those conversations, you can keep building.
Amazing. Well, that's a brilliant introduction to what we're offering. As you say, there is more available in our other videos. The important part of our webinar is it's a chance for people to ask questions about what we're offering. So I guess we've got some questions for you, Amanda, about what could help you, what intentions, and actually I think Jen or Emma have got the questions. So I guess, look, I know we've got 3 questions, so let's ask one each of you, and then if you've got any questions for us, it would be amazing to hear them. So my first question is, do you believe that a consistent practice over 40 days would help you, and what is it that it could help you to achieve?
I do. I think it's a good commitment, isn't it? If someone's willing to sign up to 40 days, they really are committed to change, aren't they? And you really will experience that change if you've made that commitment, that initial step. It's a positive one, isn't it? You're already in alignment from the get-go.
Commitment leads to character. Character gives you dignity. When you're dignified, you find your divinity. The divinity within begins to shine out. And when you're in touch with your divinity, you have a grace about you. And when you have that grace, you're able to sacrifice for other people. And it's the sacrifice that leads to happiness.
I'm just sitting with that. That was very beautiful. So that's made me quite emotional. So thank you.
Amanda, can I ask you a question then? So, you know, as a healer, that we're wanting to help people, and sometimes we've come from a place of healing ourselves or healing something or needing to be healed, and then just maybe a deep realization that actually things that have helped us can help other people. And I've heard what you said about your journey. What is there anything really that as a healer you would like to be supported with, and that you feel that you know you would really benefit from?
I firstly don't call myself a healer, but I am a conduit for other people to allow themselves to heal. But for me on the journey, it's a never ending. Once you start on a journey of self-discovery, that I find it's a never-ending journey. So there's always something that I can learn about myself. There's always something that I can learn which will help me to be more open for other people. So I notice in my journey sometimes there are people not coming to me for help, and so it's about opening up something within me that will allow for people to come to me. So I know that there's still a journey for me, and will always be a journey for me, to open myself up in various different ways, and to learn and to grow in. And at present, there isn't something that I can think of that.
Need to put you on the spot.
Well, other than I'm trying to set up a new business. Next year is going to be a busy year for me. And so I guess to really realign with being healthy and so that I have the physical strength to continue to do what I need to do and to attract in as many people as possible. So for me, it's always about remembering the steps that I need to take, because I know a lot of them and I don't always, but sometimes I forget to do them. So it's about reprogramming every time. Make sure that you're doing your daily meditation, make sure that you're doing, healthy diet and sleeping well and all the things that are going to keep me in the right frame to be running my business.
So sort of almost self-care in a way.
Absolutely, yeah. Loving myself has always been the hardest thing to do.
And I think it's a very point really well made about the healer. I don't heal people. I give people the tools to heal themselves, and that to me is critical in any modality, in anything that we learn. That once we recognise that we have got everything within, we might just need a little bit of a hand or a little bit more help. Then that's when real change starts to happen. That's when real transformation occurs. Thank you. That was really useful, actually.
They're both things that were said there were really powerful. With this thing that we are our own healers, but we just don't know it, and sometimes we need to be pointed to it. And also what Amanda said about the commitment and the practice and doing it every day. And actually, sometimes it's quite handy to have an accountability partner. It takes a while to create those disciplines for ourselves. And on those sort of rough days, I mean, I know that I will sort of call out to my support network, and then they'll remind me, oh, go out and be in the sunshine, or have you slept properly? They're just those little things that so easily, because we're so used to putting ourselves at the bottom of the pile, it's really easy for us to forget to take care of ourselves. And the third question, I suppose the third question, Amanda, is have any things in your life really, really worked for you in terms of your own healing journey and your own personal development? And have there been any absolute failures that you'd say, don't do that?
So, is there anything in my journey that I have...
That you have experienced that has been particularly powerful in transformation and really growing you, and anything that has been particularly not helpful? Probably more the help. We're probably more interested in the stuff that's been super helpful.
Yeah. So I've done a number of things. In particular, as I said, the Penningham course for me was really my major transformation, which really helped me along the way. I'm working with a lovely man called Gordon Jessamine before that, which led me to take that path in doing what he calls spiritual coaching, and it is just literally just sitting there and listening to our emotions and sitting with those emotions. So that has been a really profound change for me. But also I've done a number of week courses doing breathwork sessions, which have been really beautiful, really, really beautiful. A lovely way of just coming to the deeper emotions that are somehow kind of within, that you can really, really release. And so those, and also family constellation work that I've done with a lovely man called Shavasti, who works in London and across the world, in fact, and some of his stuff has been incredibly powerful for me, and created almost instant change, and it feels so profound in those moments. And the beautiful part of it all is that actually you don't have to really remember the content of it. The change happens, and you just go off on a new path. So those are the things that have really profoundly helped me.
The Penningham thing, how long does that run for?
Penningham processes, we have currently 2 courses. So there's one, the first, step 1 is a week's intensive residential course. And then there's a step 2 again, which is a week's residential. And we're looking to expand that. But with COVID, it's been quite tricky to get that back up and running. So they're looking to perhaps host it in another country at the moment. So maybe looking to have that in Portugal. So we'll see what happens.
Of course, COVID has meant that it is difficult to get to these intense workshops and things that are so transformative. And the great thing about what we're offering is that it's all online. And there is an incredible amount of energy. When I was first invited to work with a mentor and she said we were going to do our sessions by Skype, I was like, I don't want to do Skype, I want to be in the room with you. But actually, I got really into it because there's an enormous amount of energy that transfers when we're on screens, almost more than when you are face to face with somebody. Right now, all of my focus is on that little green dot and talking to the people who are beyond the screen. So yes, I can't touch you, I can't smell you, I can't kiss you or hug you, but I'm very, very connected to you right now. So there is real power, this Zoom thing. Plus, when we're all finished, we can all just go and put our feet up and we're at home and comfortable, and we don't have miles and miles of driving to do afterwards, which is all better for the planet as well, apart from anything else.
Amanda, have you got any questions for us about the course that we're offering?
So it's 40 days of the course, but how long does each session last? Are they all online? Is it all on Zoom? Is it varied, different times of the day? You know, how do we access it? And can it be accessed without having to, you know, any time that suits me?
So you can do it at your own time. I think that was one of your questions, Amanda. You can do it at your own time. I personally feel that if you can make the lives, then you'll get absolutely a huge amount of benefit of coming to the lives, but we'll also be available separately on WhatsApp if you haven't managed to make those.
It can all be done at your own time, and I would just underline that yes, if you can make the lives direct, it's going to be more powerful for you. But the WhatsApp group will only ever get to 8 per group, and then the Facebook group will be bigger probably. We're sort of feeling our way into it, and at the moment the lives are planned to be on Monday morning and Thursday evening, and that's going to depend a little bit on people's availability, whether it's 7 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning on the Monday. But the Thursday evening will be 7 p.m. So yeah, that's it.
So we'll have two. We're going to have 2 live sessions a week, so they'll be on Zoom, and a bit more interactive, obviously. And that's we'll go into breakout groups, and we'll record those as well, though. So if you can't turn up for them, then they'll be recorded and they'll be in a Facebook group. So we'll have a Facebook group and a WhatsApp group. So WhatsApp, if some people much prefer sharing, I think, on WhatsApp compared to Facebook. Facebook really, so that we can put the video content out there for you, and then we'll have 4 other. We'll have one day where we're saying we're not actually going to push any content out to you, but we will be doing meditation practice, and we'll be supporting you with that probably. And Emma nodding via Facebook Live, I think, on the days we're not actually sending a video. And then the other days we'll have video. They'll vary in length, maybe some 20 minutes, maybe some will be an hour, and we're aiming to get, we've got at least 6 hours of content a week, and we've got, as I say, the support on the daily support on the Kirtan Kriya, the meditation. Anything you wanted to add there, Emma?
And is there any one-to-one support for people?
There's one-to-one when you first arrive, before the course starts, so we get to know you and get to know what it is you're particularly looking for and how best we can support you, the things that you've been struggling with. Of course, along the way, if you need some one-to-one from either me or Jenny, always reach out.
The main support will come through your group that we have peer support. So you have the small group of 8 people that you're part of, and that you can reach out into that group via WhatsApp at any time and get that direct personal support without necessarily having to wait for the availability. That we're all following the process together. We've all got insights to share with each other. We've all got wisdom and teaching. We're going to have a mixture of people at different levels of learning and healing. And sometimes, as the saying goes, from the mouth of babes, and the people who know the least actually have the most to offer. So that's the idea that you would, in a moment of difficulty, as we're following through the process, that's where the main support would come through. But that our facilitative input is to keep providing that content and material to reframe our growth, and obviously we will be there within those groups as well. So if we can support you directly, we will, but if you can get direct support from somebody within the group. Also, it's probably worth mentioning as well that there is a process that we're going through to make sure that through a number of different systems that we're matching the constellation within those groups of 8 to be people who are supportive to each other.
Access my website at theartofhealing.org.uk, or drop me an email at theartofhealinguk@gmail.com, or give me a call on 07989 604 750.
Thank you. Okay, I think we can pretty much wrap up. Jen, have you anything you wanted to add, but based on what's been said? Anything that...
No, thank you very much, Amanda. It was really nice to speak to you and nice to meet you.
And you, thank you.
Thanks, Amanda.
You're welcome.